All right, folks, we've got Brandon for you all.
Brandon, you're about 194 yards away from Jerry Rice's rookie receiving yards record. I know in a tough season like this, maybe you're not thinking about personal accomplishments or anything like that, but what would it mean to you if you were able to pass that? And do you think about any of that stuff?
No, I mean, going into a game, I feel personally that that's the type of game that I can have any type of game. So I think going into the game, my mind says that this game I'm gonna have 200 yards. This game I'm gonna have 200 yards, and then go from there. So it's not really the mindset is not worrying about that record. The mindset is going out there and like I talked about last week, having a perfect game, which I haven't yet to do in terms of assignments and doing what I'm supposed to do. So at the end of the season, if I look up and that record is broke, that would be pretty exciting. But right now, we still have 2 games left. Arizona this week, and one after that. So that's the main focus right now.
Brandon, you're going to a game on Saturday with CJ Beathard as your starting quarterback. What have you seen from him throughout the season, and what has he done to, when he's faced a ton of adversity this season, and then how have you built a chemistry with him in the little bit of time that you've had with him?
Just for me, just the main thing is just his preparation. Regardless of the circumstance or what the situation may be, he's always ready to go when his number is called. So that's the main thing that jumps out from CJ. He has a huge arm. He can make every single throw, and he's super confident. So just like every other quarterback we got together earlier in the season and throughout this whole entire season. So I feel like we have a good rapport with him and any receiver that we have. So we just look to go out on Saturday and put it together.
Brandon, I was talking to your former coach, Ben Noonan, the other day, who told me the story about how you got a little upset with him one year when he took you off of special teams for a little bit. I was hoping you could recount that story and what that sort of says about your mindset about, wanting to be, part of every unit that you can be part of.
Well, it seems like every single person he talks to, he tells that story too. But that's just that was just my sophomore year in junior college, and we went to play his old team, so it was an emotional game for him already. But it was later on in the season. We're kind of already low on guys, so he wanted to take some hits off of me and take me off the return unit, which I felt like the returns was a way for me to showcase extra skills to colleges that were looking at me, and also most importantly, just being able to help my team on returns. So I felt like him taking me off of returns was kind of taken away from that. So I wanted to be out there. He finally decided to let me go out there, and I had like a couple of returns for touchdowns.
Hey, Brandon, from the first practice of training camp to us on the sideline, to the naked eye, to the untrained, it looked like you got it right away. And there weren't a whole lot of growing pains for you adapting to the 49ers offense. Now, I imagine within yourself, I imagine your head was swimming as you tried to really, focus on the playbook and your assignments. But at what point has the game slowed down to you where you can just play fast and not really have to think too much about your assignments on any given play?
I think I would say just recently that happened. It may have looked like that from the sideline or from wherever, but that was definitely not the case. It was a lot going on internally that we knew about that had to be fixed. But I would say just up until about a few weeks ago, coming back from my little COVID break was when things started to really slow down on the field and from the playbook, and just being able to just go out there and just focus on maybe the defenses and coverages and who I'm playing against instead of having to worry about what my assignment is.
Hey, Brandon, who is the best or most challenging cornerback you've gone up against so far this season?
Are you talking about my team, on our team, or are you talking about?
Yeah, no, sorry, you can't name Richard Sherman or Jason Verrett. Yeah, no, that you've gone up against in a game.
I have to get back to you on that one.
Brandon, can you describe what kind of adjustments that go through your mind when you have a different quarterback out there? This will be your third one you're going into a game with. So how does that weigh on your mind in terms of what pass might be coming your way?
Everybody has. I think we talked about it previously, but just my main thing is just worrying about my assignment. If I do what I'm supposed to do, like I said, everybody's professionals. If everyone does what they're supposed to do, things will fall into place the right way. So I'm just worried about my job and what my task is, and then the quarterbacks will handle the rest.
Brandon, there was the thing that Des Bryant said about you earlier. I'm curious if throughout this rookie season, as you know, you've had your strong campaign to open your NFL career, if anybody else has reached out to you, or if you've seen anybody else say anything about you that sort of maybe took you off guard, or you know, maybe surprised you, just given that, wow, this is a famous guy talking about me. I'm not used to this, that type of thing.
I think there were a couple of times. I think you talked about Dez. That was one. But really the most is like, you know, in our own locker room. I think the most I've been took by surprise was just Sherm. I was talking to Wes the other day, and it was just like I was just kind of just I had a soak up moment where I was just on the field getting coached by Wes Welker, and then I went and did a one-on-one against Richard Sherman. So I don't think there was a time where it was somebody talking about me. It was just, that would probably be the moment, if that's what you're asking.
This is a bit of a shot in the dark question, but I just watching your game against the Cowboys, it just kind of underscored how good your balance is, how hard it is to knock you off your feet. And I'm just wondering what you did as a kid growing up, whether there's any activities that you did, you know, whether you played multiple sports, things like that, that sort of helps explain that really eye-popping balance that you show.
I think that goes back to a lot of things. You talked about it, like a childhood back when I was younger. I used to play running back, so I think that has something to do with it. And then a bunch of games that people had a lot of different names for those games, but just pretty much one person gets the ball versus 12, 15, 8, however many people it is, and you just run across the field until you get tackled. And the mindset was just not to get tackled. So I think I just kind of carry that mindset into the game. I want to be able to fight for every single yard, and just it gets tough on DB when not only do they have to cover you and stop you from catching the football, but there's a whole another challenge in trying to bring you down to the ground after you do catch the football. So the mindset is just get as many yards as you can whenever you touch the football.
Brandon, you guys have a young receiver room. It seems like you all have a different role just each week, whether it's on special teams or they're asking you to do a different thing at wide receiver. Does that just keep things fresh for you guys? And is there one vocal leader in the wide receiver room, or is everyone just kind of feeding off each other?
I think just week to week, it just depends on where we're at in terms of guys in front, whether that's on special teams or whether that's on a different unit. But I think our room's a little bit different. Like you said, we have a younger room, but I think everybody has a voice in the room, which is like there's not that one voice that you hear a lot, but there's a bunch of different voices that talk, and it's more of like a group of just brothers just talking football. Just we talk, helping each other out, everybody helping each other out. So yeah, there's not really that one voice that's talking to anybody.
All right. Thanks, folks.
Thank you.
Make sure you subscribe, faithful.